What's up, guys? Big A here. Check out our video how we made these delicious St. Louis style ribs. And man, this is as simple as it gets. Hey guys, welcome back to Big A's Barbecue Garage. Today, since we've been at home for basically a week now, stuck indoors with a snowstorm we've had down here in the south with the ice and everything, we decided we're gonna do some St. Louis style ribs. So we've actually cut these down from spare ribs. I'm gonna do a video later at another time, or if you wanna go watch another channel, there's a lot of great guys out there that show you how to do that. But we've trimmed these down ourselves, and one of them is just gonna be 50-50 salt and pepper, and then later on we're gonna put sauce on them. And then another rack is gonna be with this garlic jalapeno by Heath Riles with a pecan rub on top, which we're gonna do a dry rib with it. So one wet, one dry. My wife loves dry ribs. So let's get to it. The first rack that we're gonna do is gonna be this rack. We'll take this glove off because we don't want to get our bottle dirty. This is, once again, this is 50-50 kosher salt and coarse black pepper, 16 mesh black pepper. We just figured weight-wise, we found that this is equal parts in weight because this is diamond kosher salt. You can use Morton's, which we've used before. But since we do our sausage with this, we figure we'll just season it with this too. And just make sure you get it high. You want that good coverage on it. Have a nice bite to it. I can smell that pepper in there, man. I love it. So we're gonna let this one sit. We're gonna season these on the same board because that little bit of salt and pepper ain't gonna hurt these other ribs. So now we're gonna put these down. So our base coat is gonna be the garlic jalapeno. And we use this on a lot of our steaks and stuff that we do. This is going to give us our savory flavor, savory notes that we like.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. Jalapeno seasoning.
I love my commentary over here.
Commentary over here.
Yeah, that's you. Oh, Pookie. And then now,
like that kind of seasoning.
And now we're going to do our pecan rub over that. It's going to be our sweet. And this is going to give us a great color too. We'll get that great mahogany look. If you haven't tried some of his stuff, Heath Riles has a lot of great rubs that he has out. You can either buy them direct from him. You can get them even from How to Barbecue Right, their site. But Academy carries them. And I want to say there might be a few at Walmart. I can't remember exactly, but I do know for a fact that Academy carries them. So that's usually where I pick them up. But then again, we're going to come to this top side. Do the same thing. We have our base layer. Keep it nice and high so we get an even coat. We're going to come back with our pecan again. And the best part of this is when we layer these and get that flavor, if you'll look at all this excess that's laying on the board and laying around the board, one of the best things about it is my wife loves cleaning this stuff up. She's rolling her eyes at me right now, but I'm just kidding. But we'll get this cleaned up and make sure we can get some of those edges really good. But as we go, if we ever see, I'll add a little bit as we're cooking. But we're gonna let these set up, tack on. Our pit is coming up to temp. Today we're using our Gateway drum. And we've got a full barrel because once again, we're in like 11 degrees outside. So it's probably gonna burn a lot of coals trying to stay hot today. But we're using Royal Oak lump charcoal. And then we're using Fogo fire starters in that. And then we've just got a little bit of post oak chunks, and we have some hickory chunks. So we're gonna let that come up to temp, and when we come back, we're gonna throw them on the grill. We're gonna show you how to get them on your grates, how they can cook evenly by the way you set them up. But these are going to tack on, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes. Our ribs have been setting up and tacking on, so they look great. They're tacked on really, really well right now. And our pit is right at about the temperature we want. It's a little lower just because, I mean, once again, it's in the teens out here. Windshield is below that. So we're going to get these on. We're going to show you how to place them on your grates. We have to do this kind of quick just because we don't want our pit to drop too much. But when you put these on, we're going to put them on here. And you want to bunch them together and push them together. And you may not be able to see it too well, but we're going to push them together because how do they put them on here or how they're going to cook. And you want them to be real meaty ribs. So we're going to push them in as good as we can get them. And we're actually going to come out every 15 minutes. We're going to spin the grates about 15 degrees. And we're going to continue to do that until we wrap them. But once we come back and we wrap them, I'm not spritzing these. I'm not doing anything else with these ribs. We're just going to let them cook, let them smoke, do their thing. And once we come back, we'll be ready to pull them off and wrap them. And we're going to show you what we do when we wrap them. Okay, guys, so our ribs have been on roughly hour and a half, 2 hours. We've been spinning the rack like we talked about every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes. But it's time to pull these off and wrap them. So we're going to close down our intake valves, our vents, and let it kind of calm down for a minute so it doesn't get too hot. As you see, we're already a little too hot as it is. But we're going to take these ribs. And here's the ones that we seasoned so far with the Heath Riles. As you see, those have great color on them. Those look great. These are the ones that are just salt and pepper. I mean, that look, you can tell the smoke is getting on those. Man, these are great. So we're going to go inside and we're going to wrap these, and then we're going to get them back on, and we're going to let them just start to tenderize and break down and kind of draw. They won't draw up anymore. They'll just kind of loosen, but they will be as tender as possible. But we'll wrap those. We'll show you that process, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, guys. So we've got our ribs. As you see, we have great color on those. But now we are going to put these meat side down. We always do our salt and pepper with a vinegar base that we make. And we tend to put the vinegar sauce down, meat side down, so that way these can braise. We add more vinegar sauce. And once these have kind of braised and tenderized, and you want these wrapped up as tight as possible. So that way these are not steaming, but braising. Get them real tight, double full, heavy duty, if you've got it. And then we're gonna throw these back on and let them braise meat side down. And the ones that we're keeping dry, we're gonna add another layer of this pecan rub by Heath Riles. We can get it open. So if you want to, this is the part where you can do whatever you want to do. You can add butter, honey, sauce, anything you want, really. But we're just adding an extra layer of flavor in here to these ribs. Then we're going to add it again on the back. Let these braise. Once again, fold it up tight. We are just trying to keep these simple today. Typically, we would add butter and honey and do all that, and kind of a competition style, but that's not what we're doing today. We're keeping it easy, simple, since it's cold out. But we've got these wrapped up. We're going to get them back on the smoker, let them finish, and then once they're finished, typically they can probe at 210, but we're going to show you how we do it. It's all about feel for us when we know they're done, and then they'll rest in a cooler for a while, and we'll sauce the ones that are the salt and pepper and have the vinegar sauce in it, and we'll show you how we do that. All right, guys, so the ribs have been wrapped and have been smoking and rotating for another, I would say, 45 minutes to an hour. We've been watching them, and we're just gonna go ahead and do our little test. Typically, I just take my ribs and I'll do like this, and if they bend pretty good, they're done. We'll check our other ones real quick. These are the salt and pepper, but we're also got our thermopin that we have. We're gonna probe these, just see how they are tenderness wise. Whew. All that steam. And really, we're just poking between the bones, see how tender they are. And they seem to be pretty tender. If you wanted to go off a temperature right now, it says they're 210. That's where we like to see them. But these are the salt and pepper ribs that we've done. So we've heated up our sauce. And we home make our sauce, and just a lot of different ingredients and stuff. But if you want to buy yours from the store, that's perfectly fine. We're just going to drizzle this sauce over here and just brush it on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip these over. And when we get this side sauced, we're going to toss these back on real quick. Let this kind of tack on a little while, and then we'll rewrap them and let them cool off. But we're gonna just fold this down. Don't want to waste our foil. And we got to get this lid on because our flames are shooting up now. We're gonna let these other ones kind of keep sitting while these tack on, because we know they're a little bit thicker. But they'll keep cooking, keep doing their thing. And when we come back, we're gonna pull them off. We're gonna let them rest, and then we'll slice them. See you guys in a little bit. So our ribs have been resting roughly 20 minutes and in our cooler, insulated cooler here. The first ones we're gonna do are gonna be the ones that we did with Heath Riles, garlic jalapeno rub, the pecan rub. And once we slice these, we're gonna go back over with a little bit of the pecan rub, because that's just what we like with these dry ribs. And as you see, they're still hot. A lot of pull back on these. And they're gonna be tender, I know. And that color, I mean, those just look amazing. But we're gonna take these, typically we turn them over, slice from the back side of them. And I'm actually ready to try these out, and hopefully we can get a good cut through on these. Man, I can already tell just by slicing these that these are tender. I don't like ribs to be falling off the bone. We used to be some judges, and so we don't want these to be that way. But now what we're going to do is we're going to flip these back over. And I normally try to keep them lined up really, really well. And then once we've done this, we can go back with our pecan rub. And don't worry, we'll wash this bottle when we get done, or wipe it down really well. Go back with the extra layer of that pecan rub. And before we slice these other ones, man, those look delicious. We're just gonna grab one of these, and we're gonna do our bite test. I mean, you can look at the moisture in that. I don't like to squeeze it, but I mean, that looks phenomenal. So here's the bite test. As you see, clean bone. Oh man. So honestly, I like to use, that's good. I like to use post oak wood typically, but with these, we ended up using just a few small pieces of post oak and some hickory. And but now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the ones that were the salt and pepper with the vinegar sauce when it's wrapped, and then the sauce on top of that. So I want to wipe this down so the flavors don't transfer, and then we'll come back and do those. All right, guys. So we have smoked these with just the 50-50 salt and pepper, and then we did a vinegar sauce when we braised them in the foil. And once we got done with that and it reached temperature, we sauced the back, flipped them over, sauced the top, and man, these just look phenomenal. I mean, I've got to be careful because those are going to break. But man, that mahogany look to them, I know these are going to be delicious. These are our go-to when we cook for people. But typically when I slice these, just a little tip that I've seen over the years and learned, if you have a little bit of sauce left over, you can just put a little bit on your board, so that way your ribs do not stick when you're trying to slice and mess up the appearance. But you don't have to do that. I just like to do it when I'm cutting. But let's slice these up. Let me spin these around here. I'm gonna cut them. Oh yeah, these are slicing well. I usually like one of these good middle bones where it's thick. As you see good color on there. That sauce is tacked on. But we're gonna take a bite of this, going for that. See if it's got a perfect bite, perfect cook. Man, that hickory, a little bit of that post oak, that pepper has a good bite to it, and I love our sauce. The vinegar sauce does help when it's braising, but our final barbecue sauce that we do, obviously you see it has a good shine to it on any of them that you look at. We've wanted to use these in competitions, but we've never been able to compete. But just the bite, it's not falling off the bone. I mean, you can pull it off if you wanted to, but man, that's a simple rib, guys. These took about 3 hours to do once they're on and the whole process. So try it one weekend. If you have any questions, comment below. Be sure you like, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell. So every time that we send out a new video, you'll get a notification. But let us know what you want to see. We're still working on some game videos with deer and hopefully some other different game this year. But man, these ribs are where it's at when it's below 20 outside. So see you guys next time.
Hello, Big Eight Barbecue Garage. This is good, that texture, that sauce.
So what is that?
Rib, smoked pepper rib.
A smoked pepper rib? I think we did what? Salt and pepper and sauce, right? Is it delicious? How's that smoke flavor?
Smoke flavor down this side, and it's been cut video. They wrapped a video of them, so we're gonna taste this.
Is it tender? There you have it, y'all. Straight from a 4-year-old's mouth. Say, see you guys next time. See you guys next time.
Guys, next time, and the video.